Bum 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 bum. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 3 of Ask a Gemini. So guys, this episode is just gonna be two people. It's just gonna be me as the Gemini moon and my other homie that we're on our way to go see her now. To go fetch her because we're gonna go mini golfing. Such an aesthetic. Also, happy new moon. Like right now I'm shooting this and it's a new moon in Gemini. So yeah, it's so fun. I'm really excited for today, no lie. But the other girl, she's a Gemini, Sun and Rising, and Mercury and Mars. So she has all the Gemini placements for like 3 people. So yeah guys, let's go. Honestly, I think today, because this is like literally my friend, like this Gemini girl that we're gonna go see is my friend, so I think today's gonna be really chill. We're just gonna have a really chill fun day. So yeah, let's go.
How's your day going?
Guys, this is the Gemini Sun. This is MIYELANI.
I'm a Gemini everything.
She's a Gemini what? Sun. Yeah, drop your
Sun, Rising, Mars, Mercury as well. I think that's where it ends.
If this no?
Huh?
Is it Jupiter also? Oh.
This way on the left.
Darlings, how's your day been?
Our days have been quite chill.
Yeah, so real.
You're the goat for real.
But how does it feel though? Like New Year's and then it's your birthday, like right after.
Yeah, when?
Yes.
Don't even mention. People are telling me, oh, you were born wrong time.
Everyone
Yeah,
says
the
that.
wrong
Shame.
month.
January babies get no love.
Yeah,
They get no love.
We don't actually. We don't. Yeah,
So wait, do you get your presents as a Christmas gift?
never.
But it's not your birthday
It's
today.
never,
It's next month.
never,
I told them.
ever.
Well,
Hi,
Yo, ooh, ooh. Wait, hold up, before, drop your Sun, Moon and Rising again, thank you.
So I am a Gemini Sun,
Word.
an Aquarius Moon, and
Ooh.
a Gemini Rising.
Triple
Yes, I
A.
am a tyrant.
Triple homicide, god damn, god. God damn. That was it. Okay, me, I'm a Virgo Sun.
Do you want to be on the stairs?
Yeah, actually, let me get that license. Yo, what's up? I'm a Gemini Moon, Virgo Sun, Aquarius Rising. You feel me? Mercury gang, that's what's up.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Miss BK, the ruler is my wife.
Guys, I forgot my iPhone US thingy, so I can't use my mic. So we're just gonna have to use this. I'm so sorry, guys. It is a bit noisy, but like, there's nothing you can do.
Even though
Yo.
international YouTuber.
Actually, before we begin, she's a musician, guys. Please go listen. Please go stream Era 555 first of all. Go follow. Do you want to be followed?
Yes, I do.
Follow her on her IG.
I like being validated by external people.
She's so. Her name is Princess of Gomorrah. It's gonna be here on the screen. So go follow this before we even begin. Like before we even watch the rest of the interview.
My
Anyway.
music is sexier than I don't trust.
And she's so sexy. Can you imagine her music? Like, can you imagine her music? Anyway, first question. Let's get into it. No, we're gonna answer it like not anonymously, but like simultaneously.
yeah.
What? Wait, what's the
Simultaneously at the same time.
Oh shit, like randomly.
Okay.
We're gonna do it randomly.
English is not English.
Okay, it's really not. I'm sorry. First question for the both of us, right? Why do we like playing mind games?
Because this is my favorite thing to say to people. Not favorite. Favorite. No, guys, I'm not this funny on a regular, but my favorite thing to say to people is don't quote me. I think the reason it's not even like mind games type of situation. It's just like we know we're gonna change our mind along the way.
I feel that.
So it's like I don't want to disappoint people by giving them like some solid answer, like I'm some solid person. Like
Exactly. We're like, I think we play mind games because for me, I like seeing how people think. I like to see how people process things. Like I usually play mind games, I think, when I'm like in romantic relationships. I think in the beginning, just to see like how you are. So I do this and it's so toxic, but I do this thing. Wait, I'm not satisfied with this lighting. Hold on, guys, 2 seconds. The reason why we're sneaky, the reason why I think they're not sneaky. Mind games, right? The reason why we play mind games is because we want to know how people think. Like we like to analyze people and their reactions, like from a logical point of view. So, and yes, it is toxic. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like it can get really, it can get really fucking toxic, you know. But like, we just want to see. Like we're really curious. Like we're so curious. I think we like seeing how people are.
yeah, like what's the point of like going in full force
And you don't know
with all my
someone.
authenticity
Word.
if you're just gonna take advantage?
Word.
Thank you. Like Geminis know, like at the end of the day they are catchers, but only if you catch them.
Only, and we're gonna make it a whole
wild
thing
chase.
for you
Like,
to
gotta
catch
spread a
us.
little. Like 3 years later, it's like yo, Tano Budalum Dale.
And you know what's crazy? I think like
Well,
as soon as someone is like, fuck that, like I'm so down with this, that's when we want them.
but
Like
you're like no.
I don't know, like
We want minions. Actually, to put it lightly, I'm joking.
I think we're like Leo's low key. Like I think we like being admired,
Yeah.
but without the restrictions of having to like feel obligated.
Or feel like a leader.
Or feel obligated.
So
like I
when
hate
things
feeling
go wrong-
obligated. I hate feeling obligated. Like especially emotionally obligated, which is why I feel like I wouldn't do well with water signs. Water signs know how to like guilt trip you in like a very subtle way, and I know it, but I hate that shit. So it just wouldn't go because I'm also gonna play mind games.
Yeah, we'll just tit for tat.
We are.
You play with my heart, I play with your brain. Thank you, let's go. Guys, no, please don't believe this is the person I am not this person. I am a good, outstanding South African citizen.
Actually, that's the next question. Why are Geminis so wishy-washy? Why are we so wishy-washy?
I think, honestly, like a lot of answers or questions people have about Geminis could be answered by one thing: duality. Like we literally exist in the gray. So for you guys to expect something solid from us all the time is
We're
kind
not
of like
solid people. We're mutable. Like
it's
we're
insane.
constantly changing, whether
Exactly.
we want to or not. And unfortunately, even for like, I'm a Gemini. I hate how unstable I am, and I understand that I'm unstable, right? So for people to expect me to be consistent, it's such. Ooh, thank you so much. Sorry about that. So for people to like okay. Yeah, I'll just do this. You see, even now, like we have no consistency. We have no grounding at all. Like
No, we're grounded in the air.
but there's no like
We're grounded.
You know, when you're an air sign, like you're everywhere and nowhere at the same time. And I feel like as much as sometimes being ambiguous is great, like I think our ambiguity can be our
Destroys
downfall.
relationships.
Just because when you're like as a Gemini moon, like I think we're also always chasing a thrill, like the funness. So when things kind of get too serious, it doesn't match my lightness. Like I'm a very light person, you know. So I guess sometimes when I don't know, maybe we're like running away from
No, maybe okay.
something
I like
serious.
differently
Yeah.
to the. I don't think like I'm a light person. Like, nah, I take shit personally. I'm so sorry. Does it mean will I express it? We don't know about that, you know. But I think more than anything, Gemini just want the ability to change their mind.
We
Like,
want the freedoms. It's like self on you.
Nah, guys, but the wishy-washiness, I feel like if a Gemini is wishy-washy about you, they haven't made up their mind about
Word.
you. The thing is, like, once we make up our minds, I think it's like it's quite set, or at least let me speak for myself, you know. But like in the process of it all, it's like I'm still learning about you. I'm still learning about myself with you, and I'm allowed to change my mind. Because just imagine, I come up to you, whoever you are, viewer, and I fall in love with you on day one. And then down the line, I discover that you're really not my cup of tea. So now because I, linked with you that first time, now I must continue linking with you. No.
With the same energy, like.
So we're wishy-washy because, like, I don't think we want to stay for anything that doesn't really make us feel like it's worthwhile.
True.
We're
And
not
I
the
think,
biggest ever time.
I also think, like, because Geminis are so fun. Like, we're really fun in the beginning, you know. Like, when you get to meet us, you'll know, like, we're kind of hyped. We like to talk, like joking. But, like, when we get to know you, you'll kind of sense, like, we're analyzing you. And I think in that analysis period, when we realize that we actually don't like you, then we kind of, like, withdraw. And that's when you see the switch up. And to you, you may just think it's switching up, but to us, we just decided that we actually don't fuck
We're
with
not
you.
there anymore.
We're not there, like, and unfortunately, like,
Oh, we're not there. We're not there.
it does look wishy-washy, but
One thing you can't
just
just
don't
convince
fuck
a
with you.
Gemini to stay.
no, really. Because once we decide we're gone, it's really over. Like, and we might see, we might be cool, haha. But once my heart is out, shit, it ain't coming back.
Wow.
I'm seeing how we mirror you, also low key. Like, we mirror people.
Like, we could be so into someone, but we act like we don't give two flying fucks. Because it's just like, I don't know, some of those things of, I think like as air signs, it's like, especially Geminis, man, I feel like they're in between wanting to feel and wanting to ignore those feelings, right? That's why we like the communicator signs. Like, technically we're supposed to be speaking, right? But that's the thing about words, it's just words at the end of the day. You know, but when it comes to action, actually like showing people that like we care or like what we actually feel about them, it's different. It's different. You'll never find a Gemini bamboozling you with just eye contact. That's a Scorpio thing. That's a Scorpio thing, right? Geminis need to use this to bamboozle you a bit. You need to hear us speak first before you can like be like, okay.
Be sneaky. Actually, that's the third question. Why are we so sneaky? Why are Gemini so sneaky?
Oh, because we're notorious for being the zodiac host.
But why? Okay, I think for me, I'm sneaky. I think I can be sneaky in like the beginning stages of dating, when I'm like trying to see if I like you or not. So I'll talk to 3 people, but that's actually dating. Like, that's not a bad
But
thing.
is that even being sneaky? That's
I don't
not
think it's
supposed
sneaky.
to happen.
Like, we're just dating different people.
No, it is. It's not sneaky.
Okay,
Maybe
I
this
can
is
get
another
sneaky.
example of sneaky.
I can get sneaky. So in that situation, like, if I decide I'm gonna cheat, right, I think I can be a really good cheater. Not that I'm saying I'm a cheater, but I think I can be a really good cheater, because I think Geminis, once again, going back to the fact that we like having options. You know, we like having variety, and we don't like feeling like we're gonna be in a routine. So if I'm faced with like a situation where I feel like I'm gonna be forced in a routine, then I'm gonna try to find ways out. Like, I'm gonna try to find a way to maneuver that, you know, because I think it just all goes back to independency, because you're not about to tell me what to do.
I feel
You're not about to direct my decisions. You know, that's when I have an issue, you know, and that's when I'm like, okay, oh, you want to play this game?
I'm gonna do that exact opposite thing.
Oh, baby, oh, baby.
But like, to piggyback off what you said, man, like, with me, it's like one of those things. I think I'm a serial monogamous, but the thing is, I need to be with someone who I feel is very inspiring. Do you get me? So even though I know, like, at the end of the day, I can't really like deal with having multiple partners once I actually make my mind up about something. Whoever I'm with needs to be super dynamic, like very
And interesting.
super interesting.
I
Someone
can't
who's gonna
do.
keep me on my toes.
I wouldn't date a Capricorn, like, or a Capricorn moon for that reason. Just because I know like how simple, and not to throw shade, but like, I just, in terms of compatibility, like, I would hate to be with someone who's boring. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love fun, and if I know you're like that too, like, we're gonna match. But if you're kind of rigid and boring.
But
Hardy.
I just need to like reel it back in. I like structured fun, right? Because like one element that people don't like fully recognize about Gemini, like people are so quick to like point out our messiness, but they don't point out our calculatedness too. And that's a big part of being Gemini. The thing is, the reason why we can get away with being messy is because we do it in such a smart way. Think about it, guys. Like, why do you think Azalea's out here? Okay, Azalea's a different character. Yeah.
Kanye
West, and then besides like, you know, all the cancel culture stuff and whatnot,
Yeah.
and then now we just like analyzing the way of thinking and stuff like that. And then the reason why Kanye is able to get away with so much shit, is because he's very calculated about how he executes stuff, and also the way he words things. Guys, listen to the things.
Also, Tabo Besta is a Gemini. Okay, but just look at how fucking genius that nigga is, bro. Tabo Besta.
You get me? Like, I don't want to be
Gemini.
using serial killers as my point of reference, but like, you know,
But you get us, like,
you get what, like, it takes a brain to be a killer.
word. It does. It really does, bro.
You really, like, you can't do that. It doesn't need a heart, but it takes a brain.
That's right. Why are Geminis so flirtatious? Ooh.
The answer to this question is very simple. We are the communicators of the zodiac.
Word.
Done. Like,
Word.
we're flirtatious because we understand that flattery can get you very far.
Being charming can get you very far too.
I can attest to that. Like, I really be more in my introverted side, but I know, like, if I'm really trying to have things go my way,
Finesse.
gotta be like, yo, baby, ooh.
But I feel like sometimes, like piggybacking off what she was saying, I think sometimes we can. I think we're just nice. Like, we're friendly people, you know.
And people mistake it for flirting, and I'm like, I'm just being courteous.
I'm just being nice to you.
I'm trying to
right
make
now,
you
like-
feel nice.
Right.
And I can make you feel nice for just wanting to make you feel nice.
Literally.
But
like,
people
there's no
don't
strings attached
understand
to that all the
it's-
time.
You know,
It's just vibes. It really is just vibes. We're just vibing. Like, unless I think the only time you know that we're being serious is if you feel like we're playing mind games. Like, if we're pushing and pulling, we like you. But if we're just vibing and we're always fun around you, you're a friend. Like, just know that.
it's just games. It's
You're a
games.
friend. Like,
It's games, guys. So yeah, also like another thing, it's actually like a thought I've been having about how people really misinterpret flirting. I feel like flirting is a game that humans play. It's not always like associated with being romantic. Do you get me? I don't know who told y'all flirting is all about romance. You can flirt with your friends if you
It's
want
also fun.
to. Like, it's just
my mom's calling. I'll see her later. But I feel like for me, I have Libra placements too. So like sometimes it's just a fun mental stimulation
Get to know
interaction, you know, just to see, you know, because if you can flirt back with me, like we can ping pong, we can just like get to just stimulate each other. It's just really all about fun. And I also have a Gemini moon in the 5th house, so that's just it's fun. It's really nothing.
But you don't take me seriously.
It's never that serious.
Nah.
Trust me. Trust me. We did that. We in sync. We did swag. Third question. Why do Geminis lie so much?
Why do niggas lie? Why do people lie? I don't think Geminis lie. I think we tell the selective truth.
I think sometimes we can't. I be lying sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. But I think it's just so, because I don't want you to know.
I just lie.
We just don't want you to know. But sometimes we literally lie we lie for no reason. Like, we lie about the smallest, like, where were you? And I really could have just been doing something innocent, but I would lie about that.
And be like, I was reading a book.
It's upstairs, I think.
Can I jump
Come through. What's your star sign? Are you a Gemini?
Yeah.
Are you a Gemini?
Oh no, I'm joking. I'm a Virgo.
Oh, she's a Virgo. Okay, never mind. Anyway, but Geminis lie. I lie because sometimes I just don't want you to know the truth. But also sometimes, like, honestly, there's no reason. Like, I'm just fibbing at the moment.
It's just like, I don't know. I tell half truths. I don't lie often. If I do lie, like I said, it's petty lies. You get me? Like when my parents say, "Where you going?" and I want to say, "I'm going to Bruce." I'm saying, "I'm going to a bride."
Okay, yeah, true.
You get me?
Like, I think in that situation, yeah.
Nah, so
but
half
it's never
truths.
like. I don't think we lie about drastic, crazy things. Like, nah, we don't do that. Like,
I don't think I'm a good liar too. Like,
yeah,
it's
I think
on
it
my
shows
face.
in our face. Like,
Yeah,
it definitely
and
shows
also
in
like
our
I just like
face.
stutter and stumble
or mumble,
over my words.
or like I say the same thing, but
I'm
you
like
always
trying to
know,
connect
like,
the stories as
if
they
it's
come.
a big lie, you'll know we lying. But tiny,
Yeah.
small, like white lies, like where I was at. Okay, maybe that can be big, but like,
It's never like life altering stuff. It's
yeah,
never.
it's not something that will hurt you. Like if I know, like if for example we're friends and MIYELANI's mom calls me, she's like, "Where's MIYELANI?" But I don't know where MIYELANI is. Like I'll have her back, you know, in that sense. You know, like I'll have her back. But like I think it's either to protect or it's just to hide what we don't want you to know. You know?
Yeah.
But it's never that serious.
Or you don't need to know
You don't need to know. A lot of
that
times
you
don't.
like. I mean,
I think sometimes we can be okay. I can be a really good liar in the sense like, leaving out the truth, you know, like or leaving out specific detail. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why do we do that. Also,
it's because like people can't handle the truth.
I think we assume
Fully.
people can't handle the truth.
But hear me out. The thing is, they can't.
I think we assume people can't handle the truth.
The thing is, I don't like conflict for the most part.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Right?
the reason.
Yeah,
I don't like conflict.
I don't like conflict.
We're
So
not
why
trying
would
to
I tell
deal
you
with
something that's
all
gonna
that.
make you act up?
And you know what? We don't talk enough about how Geminis are intuitive, because we kind of know how people are going to react to specific things. So another reason why we would lie is to avoid a specific
That reaction. And then we get blamed for not communicating. And we're like, I could have communicated, but was it gonna change your action or your reaction?
It really wasn't.
So yeah, that's why we lie. We lie for the greater good.
Which is like also low key, a little bit toxic, but you know what I'm saying? Like you're not getting hurt,
Duality.
no one's getting hurt.
One time.
It's just love.
That toxic kind of love.
Okay.
This it's recording.
It is.
This club is my anger, and this pink ball
My
is
haters.
society. Sorry. I mean, haters if you want to be that, but like I hate you all. Thank you.
Ooh, ooh.
Oh, that was crazy. Hate to take you places. Yo, that was crazy. Don't take the high road. Be petty.
Oh,
This ad break is brought to you by Era 555.
come on, stream her music right now.
Like we happy, but it's just drugs. We're acting like we happy, but it's just drugs. Take a sip or two, I can see your blood. We're acting like we happy, but it's just.
Okay, next question. Why are we so curious?
Because knowing things is good. I'd rather be a jack of all trades than a master of none. And if you're curious, you're more likely to find answers to things. I don't know. Yeah, what do you
I
think?
think I'm same, like literally same. I feel like also I'm curious just because I like knowing and not to do anything. I'll know something and not do anything
Just for
about
the
it,
sake
you
of
know, just for the sake of like knowing. Like I like understanding like the essence of people, you know, just like that's why it also leads back to the mind games that we play, just because we like we just like knowing, like we're just trying to see, we're just like, oh, what's this gonna
what
do
you about?
if I press this button, what's that gonna do?
Exactly. And you know what's the funny part? The funny part, that question that we just asked now, like, why are we so curious? I feel like it can also be doubled up with the question, why do we like to gossip?
that actually is a question. So this is part 2.
Is it?
Why do Geminis love gossiping?
I
I don't gossip though, no lie.
No, the thing
My
is, it's not
Aquarius
gossip.
rising takes over. I don't really give a fuck about.
It's
people like that.
curiosity.
Shit.
Do you get me? Like, we don't even try to like gossip to like spread trash. It's just like we're likely not gonna speak to everyone, right? To
Word.
speak to some, or it's gonna be surface level. So I
it's
guess
usually
like
surface level.
yeah. So I
With
guess we
us,
get some
it's
of our
not that
intel
crazy.
from like talking like, oh, what do you think of that person, or what? You get me?
Your opinion. I think once again, like this, it's a cycle. We're curious because we want to know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of the times, like, because we, not to say that there aren't Geminis that will use that information and use it against you. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
humans are humans.
Humans are humans. Humans be humaning. But I think a lot of the times it's just for us to understand other. I think Gemini's like, we're kind of like Sagittarius in the sense that we like to understand humans. Okay,
Yes.
we like understanding humans. Me with astrology, MIYELANI does it with her human Aquarius moon brain.
Tarot reading.
And oh, she's a tarot reader. Thank
I'm
you.
a spiritual worker too.
Oh, my friends are amazing. Like, anyway. But I just feel like we like exploring people, you know, like our exploration is always mental. So like just understanding people also gives us a better understanding of the world. Because
And ourselves.
if you meet someone like MIYELANI here in South Africa, there's probably another MIYELANI in Europe or whatever, and you'll know how to interact with them just because you know how that personality is, you know what I'm saying? And I think Gemini is kind of like Scorpios. We like having an upper hand, but not in a way of trying to hurt you.
Exert dominance.
You know, not in a way of exerting dominance, just as a way of like knowing how to
Control.
interact. Because I think above all, Geminis love socializing, you know. And also, if it means sometimes I can finesse you to get me into clubs for free, give me shoes for free, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna do
It's just
that.
one of those things.
I'm
man.
gonna do that.
But like above all, like with Geminis, it's just, man, we're just trying to understand you,
Word.
and we're trying to understand the game. I think like essentially deep down inside we understand that like life is a game, hence why we internalize stuff so like intellectually. You get me? Like we want to use our feelings. Like I know I'm a very sensitive person,
Yeah,
and I
same.
think like I lead with my heart more than anything.
Word.
But also at the same time I can't deny the fact that like I've got like that Gemini Aquarian element to me. Whoa,
That's a bit
bullseye.
too aggressive.
But like yeah, like I forgot what I was saying.
You said about sensitivity and
Oh, sensitivity and stuff like that. Like even though I am a sensitive person, it's like the way I deal with my sensitivity is making logical sense out of it.
Yeah,
So that
we
comes
analyze
with
our brain.
curiosity.
Yeah.
It comes with like asking questions. It comes with like gossiping. Like I want to at least feel like I know what the outcome might be, even though it could be anything.
word. Also, I think it's just like, I think we know how to create fun for ourselves in our minds. So information is also fun with that. So the more we know, we can kind of like play with that, you know, especially not just that we play with people, but just knowing how someone can think, you can know how to maneuver around that. And like it's kind of fun to be like, oh, I know if I press this button, this is gonna happen. And if it actually happens, it's like, I
What
was
I like
right the whole
about
time.
Geminis, ne, that I feel like people don't really actually acknowledge a lot about some Geminis. Geminis are so good at playing.
Dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah. We really are.
we're so good, and it's not to say that we're dumb or we pretend to play dumb. It's just like one of those things of the way we deliver information.
Word.
You might think that we're unintelligent, but like the thing is, we're actually very smart, and we actually like think about our words a lot. Do you
Word.
get me?
Okay, yes, I agree with that, but I think piggyback, like the opposite of the duality of me is that as much as I love that what she was saying is sometimes I really do have an issue with, and as much as Gemini Mercury communication, like I have a hard time communicating how I really feel sometimes. And like when I do, like I start to stutter and I get all squiddy and stuff, which is crazy because you wouldn't think that. You'd be like, Gemini, like you're good at this, right? But once it gets into like matters of the heart, it gets, sorry, I spat on you.
No,
It
you
gets a little
didn't.
bit more like hectic, you know, which is why I think we also do that whole back and forth playing games just to see if it's really real. Because I think vulnerability is really scary for air signs,
Yeah,
especially us air moons, right? But air signs in general, like it's really scary. So if we're gonna be vulnerable with you, like we have to make sure it's real, like, and we really fuck with you, you know?
Yeah.
And
We need
Yeah.
to be okay with you breaking our brains, because essentially that's what love is.
anyway, let's go back to the game.
Are you ready?
boy.
You.
Why do Geminis have commitment issues?
I don't think it's commitment issues. I just think we don't want to settle.
I think we okay, for me, hold on, let me get a better grip. I think for me, I have commitment issue with, okay, and mind you, I'm only 22, right? So I feel like as I evolve and as I get older, like it's gonna get better, like, and I won't be so afraid to look at things from like a more long-term thing. Even with my astrology, like I've been sticking with this, you know, so it's getting better. But I think the root of it was because of boredom, to be honest. Like as soon as the routine starts to hit and I realize that this is the reality and like I have to work, especially with careers. Relationships, I think it's a similar thing, but I also think for me, relationships is realizing that people have flaws. I think this is my Virgo speaking. I know people have flaws. I'm also flawed, you know, but I think when the reality of a relationship sits,
We're perfect.
and I realize ukuthi nawe unenkinga, Asanda.
I think that is a contributing factor. Like, as much as I don't want to admit it, like, part of me is like superficial. Like, I appreciate the surface level of aesthetics and stuff like that.
The beginning stages of relationship, the honeymoon phases, because it's just idealism. I think we're also idealistic, you know, and our idealism,
Our expectations are too high.
yeah,
And then we get disappointed by having unrealistic expectations.
the reality, because reality is kind of trash, no lie.
It is.
I know my imagination is amazing, so if something is not going how I idealistically planned it to be, then you feel me, like it just kind of,
It's just like, and like the
I don't
weird
like this.
part, like one thing that I came to realize, like of course I've come across like many amazing people in my life who have like really great characteristics, but then a tendency that I used to, or like I've become very accustomed to, is like, I don't know, putting people on a pedestal or like choosing to see the good in them.
only the good.
Do you get me? So this might come off as like being afraid of commitment and whatnot, but like in the beginning I wasn't supposed to be with you to begin with. I think that's one of the realizations I'm coming to. Like, obviously I have my own flaws and things I would need to work on in like my personal relationships and whatnot, but like my main issue is that like I just tend to settle. That's why, like, from my perspective as a Gemini, I just tend to settle. Like, I choose to see the good in people
Only.
even though like they don't really deserve me to see the good in them like that. Do you get me? And therefore then shit just like ends up spiraling out of control because true colors come through.
Yeah,
And then-
and everyone has true colors. We have true colors too. You know? I think we just have a hard time like acknowledging like people as like, because we're so dynamic, but I think we have a hard time like accepting other people's dynamicness, you know, like,
I don't
which
think
is
so.
crazy. I think I do for sure, like,
That's
especially
one-
the more negative parts. Like I have a really hard time digesting that. Obviously it's gonna get better like as I grow and stuff, because I think now I'm still operating from like a high school mindset, low key, if I'm being honest, you know. But I think most it's just idealism. It's just idealism.
It's just idealism, né?
Wait, and they both came back. Wait.
Oh my god.
I just need to get it uphill.
Come on. You did.
Don't come back down. Good girl. Let's go.
What it do? What's up?
Hey, got your nigga in the club. Why are Geminis so tricky? Why do you like tricking people?
It's not really tricking people. It's just gotta keep it interesting, man. I don't know, you answer. Maybe you give something
think-
more sound-minded.
Trick people. Okay, when you say trick people, the only time I've tricked someone is really my brother, and that was out of fun, like, because my brother's a Libra, you know, so, and he's a Libra moon too, so we have that like air moon connection, and also he's my sibling. But I don't think I trick people in. It's not like a thing. I don't go around parties like, hey guys, guess what, I'm pregnant. No, never mind, I'm not.
So in that sense, I just genuinely, I don't like jokes, man. Like, I don't like tricking people. Because also another thing people constitute as tricking is like playing mean. So like saying mean stuff to each other, but it's a joke. I take that shit to heart, so genuinely I don't participate.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think I necessarily trick people, but I can, you know, going back to like the whole indecision, being wishy-washy, that's when people can feel like I'm tricking them, like, you know, like almost feeling like I drag them along.
Or like we lead people along. I guess maybe that's what they were asking, like why are you
tricky?
It really just goes back to analyzing. I think like when a Gemini decides that they actually don't want like a long-term relationship with you, then they just kind of stop, and there's really nothing that you can do or say to change their mind, you know. I think it's just the point of like how we vet people in relationships or friendships is like in the beginning, as I said, we'll be friendly and fun, like it'll be cool vibes, and you'll think, wow, I really fuck with this Gemini, like they like me too, not knowing that we're analyzing you with all of everything that we're doing, you know. And I think when we realize that you're not the person for us or someone that we want to associate with, then we just kind of stop, you know. And we're not necessarily aware of how you feel about it, because we're just vibing, you know.
I wouldn't say I'm not aware. I think one thing I've become very good at is being aware of people's feelings, right? But like at the same time, I've also learned as I get like older, I'm learning to like communicate like my observations better, right?
Okay, I don't do that. I keep them
to yourself, ne? But like for me, I'm learning to communicate, and if I communicate and you kind of like disregard my boundaries, me telling you like I like you, I like being around you, but I don't want to be with you like that, but just keep trying for other things, or I'm bound to disappoint you. That's where you'll find me tricky, right? Because like I'll show up because I like you. It's just like I don't want to touch you.
Yeah, like we like the fun things that come with you, but not everything.
We're not trying to be intimate like
We're not
that.
trying to do
So
that.
I guess like that's what I let people like sort of like feed their delusions sometimes.
Oh my god, we do that.
Yeah, because also for me sometimes it's not even like a thing of like
that.
I'm trying to be a villain or a bad guy. I feel like also sometimes people disrespect your boundaries as a person.
Yeah,
you
true.
tell them you're not ready for something, and they continue pushing. So if you're gonna continue pushing, I'm gonna keep hope for you.
That's real. Yo, that's so real, dude.
I'll keep hope for you.
That is so
Because why aren't you
real.
listening to me? Clearly my words are just words. They just air. So
They really are. I think sometimes also people don't take us seriously a lot of the time.
they really don't.
And they see, because we're always so fun and bubbly and giggly, like not
Ne-
always, but like we have that energy with us, so people kind of see like, no, you're just joking, but
Ne-
it's really not, like we're being so dead. But I think maybe that's the tricky part, knowing when we're being serious and when we're not being serious, because I think with Gemini is like you know, for example, a Scorpio will, when they say stop, like you'll feel it in your
That
heart
stop.
that it means stop.
It's haha stop.
Yeah, okay, when we say stop, we're like, stop. And we may sometimes feel like stop, but we don't say it like in a stop kind of way, you know.
Because
So
we're not
that-
trying to offend you as well.
and
You
us,
get-
we're not trying to offend you. Like I think, that's really it. Like we're not trying to hurt you. We're not trying to be responsible for like
your
heavy
feelings of
emotions.
resentment.
Yeah, like heavy. We're like Gemini's. Honestly, for me, also Gemini moon. I think my Virgo sun can handle it a little bit better, but my Gemini moon doesn't do well with heavy emotions.
Yeah.
So I always try to like keep it like a light heart. So even if we break up, like I'll try to, haha, cool, ha.
It's all good.
And it's not. We don't stamp it. Like we don't make you feel like this is over. Unless obviously you push us to a specific limit. Like but we don't make it like. I don't know,
My
make it
Taurian
seem
Venus
real.
says otherwise. When it's tea time, it's tea time. But that's the thing. He can also easily become love too. That's the thing.
Word.
Like as much as it can become, my love can become hate. My hate can become love too. Like my feelings about people aren't constant, unless
It's
you really done
ever-changing.
fucked up. Like when you fucked up, then I'm like fuck you. Like you can burn. But like if it's something that's still like you went through a moment of weakness in your life, and I happen to be at the receiving end of that, then fair. But like we move. But like let people believe in their delusions, guys, because I honestly believe people need to start listening to people's boundaries. And they need to stop feeling hurt by people acting according to their boundaries.
Exactly.
And I guess that's where my whole why do I trick people? I trick people because I'm trying to like let them understand I'm not gonna assert myself like a Scorpio, because I'm not a Scorpio.
We're not Capricorns or
Do you get me?
Scorpios. We're not.
I'm gonna express myself like a Gemini.
Sorry.
Do you get me? I'm really gonna express myself like a Gemini, and genuinely, I just like people for the sake of liking them, and not because I want anything more.
Yeah,
and
it's
if
really
people can
social,
clock that,
like, it's really not like, if you want to take things seriously with the Gemini, that's a different thing, you know. But always consider that a Gemini is gonna do what they're gonna do, regardless of what you want them. Like, regardless of what you want to happen, they're gonna do what they're gonna do, like, regardless, you know. So, and unfortunately, sometimes, like, I think our toxic trait is but I think especially you, I feel like you're developing more into communicating exactly what you feel. You know, I think that's something I need to also get into, low-key, like, more, you know. But I think sometimes with me, I have the habit of, if I ghost, or if I stop communicating, or if I like kind of withdraw from you a little bit, I kind of expect for you to already know what's happening, you know, because I'm showing you with my actions what's going on, you know. So I kind of assume people think the way I think, you know, but that's not always the case. So some people need to be told that, this is what's happening. This is what's happening.
Going
you know?
back to that whole thing of like people, you gotta let people live in their like delusions, ne?
Yeah.
I was in a situation where someone like 2 weeks prior to them trying their stunt again, I had told them that I'm not ready for like,
you told me.
Exactly. So in my defense, if a situation like that arises and I hurt you, you kind of did it to yourself. Don't put this.
Buddy, don't quote me.
Don't quote me.
Sorry, we're not taking.
Why are you disrespecting my nose? I might not know what exactly I want, but I know what I don't want.
Exactly. I don't know what I want, but I know what I do not want. And when I decide I don't want you, I'm sorry. That's it. Or if I don't want like this Korean no more. It is what it is.
And not wanting you now doesn't mean I won't want you forever. But if you push me, chances of me not wanting you in the future are so slim.
Another thing, but I think this is our Aquarius speaking with our Gemini. We don't like to feel pressured.
No.
Do not pressure us.
No.
Do not listen. Pressuring us is the fastest way to get us to run quickly from you, bro.
Watch us become a Donald Trump.
Don't pressure a Gemini. Do not pressure a Gemini to do anything, to feel anything. Because as soon as they start to feel that, they're plotting. Just know. Especially you Cancerians, you
Don't
Scorpios,
claim me. Don't claim me.
You water signs, you Leos. Woo!
I'm for the streets. Don't claim them too.
Don't pressure me. Because I will run from you quickly.
You watch me talk to other people while we are on a date. And the thing is, you know what? It's not even like I'm going to be taking their number, their money or anything. I'll just be talking.
Which is jelly. Why me like that? I blame Mercury. I blame Ice Spice. Thank you. Like keep it a stack. Bitches move on because they know I got bands. In the mirror, I'm doing my dance and I'm still getting money. I know who I am. Trying to be low, he gonna hit up my gram. In the like a fan. She think cause she be eating oats. Bitches not taking shit from her but notes. Come on. Come on.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel.
This is her YouTube, guys. Please subscribe to her astrology stuff.
Thank you. This is the real brains behind the operation.
Question 10. Why are Gemini so crazy? Why are we crazy?
Because the world isn't crazy enough. I'm joking. I don't know, dude. I don't think we're crazy. It's just like I feel like that's what you guys have told the earth, the people of the earth, that's what Geminis are. So I just think y'all are just projecting your own internal craziness on us and allowing us to take the burden for you all as a race, a species. Yeah.
I think I don't think we're like crazy. Like it's not like a daily routine. We wake up like we're gonna be fucking crazy. I think if a Gemini is ever like that to you, you probably push them there. And obviously there are Geminis where like they're just like they have issues, like you know what I'm saying. But we don't claim that. Like Gemini placements don't always claim that. Like, and if we, like I said, if we crazy, it's because there was a lead up, a build up to that. You know what I'm saying? So we just retaliated it the best way we know how.
We could, or we're just being ourselves. I think we just like live in our feelings when we want to as authentically as we can, because all the other times like we're two-faced.
Angisha, that's what you say.
Yeah, so you know, for the balance, we be crazy sometimes.
Or maybe it's just because like Gemini placements are unhinged, like, and they live off of their first impulses, you know, and they don't really hold back. So I think maybe people see that as crazy because it's not withheld like as society usually is, and sugar coated and filtered with like stuff. You feel me? Like,
but also like when I actually think about it now, I feel like what people have took and sort of like defined as like a very major part of Gemini's personality is like a part of Gemini's personality when they're not grounded.
Facts.
And they're not sent and not balanced, you know. That word balance.
Ish. Because also I think like the sub question to that would be like, why are we two-faced?
Because there's two sides to every story.
There's two sides to everything. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna answer this. Like, I think Geminis, and I said this before, I think, but Gemini placements really, like by default, see every perspective. Like, we like to explore every perspective. And that's also why a lot of the times we can be seen as devil's advocates, because we understand like life is not linear, guys, and we all know this. Like, life isn't linear, you know what I'm saying? It's not black and white, and Geminis live in that color spectrum, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like that we're crazy. But I understand like on the receiving end of that, especially like when you're in a fight and you want your Gemini friend to be on your side, and they're like offering you so many different perspectives, and it's just like, nigga, like, be on my side, like, and they're not giving that to you. I think it's really just them giving you another perspective, you know, like
perhaps friend,
maybe like you're right, like maybe you're not seeing it in another light. And I think a lot of times people don't want to, because okay, maybe like where we're wrong is like, I think in the moment when your friend is feeling that feeling, like they're just in that feeling and they have to sit in that feeling, and they don't really want to look at any other perspective but what they're feeling. So we don't really validate that. So it kind of seems like we're not loyal, or we're not like, you know, concrete. But I think like our intention is always just, because look, the reason why we can detach is because we can see other perspectives. So we can live and shift our perspective and be like, oh, okay, well, I guess it wasn't like that. So we're kind of giving you that, like, we're trying to offer you that freedom to, like, you can look at it this way and not have it affect you like that, you know what I'm saying? So I guess it's just also our way of helping you, you know. But to say we're two-faced,
like that whole two-faced statement, I don't agree with it, because the thing is also, people expect blind loyalty, and you're not gonna get blind loyalty from a Gemini. Like, a Gemini needs to know why they're loyal to you. Now, don't talk about like toxic situations where like now it's just like a 5-second situation. But like when we're talking about like proper loyalty, first of all, a Gemini won't inherit your beef, so beef alone. Beef alone. And secondly, they don't want to, like, Gemini is not that friend that you can call up and be like, yo, we're going to square up. Obviously not all of us, but like for me personally, like, we're going to beat someone up.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Call me when you want diplomatic solutions, because I don't know how to fight with I know how to fight with this and this.
Valid. That's so valid, dude. I think, she said it. She ordered it perfectly. We're just perspective based. Like, we're so ambiguous too, you know. Like, it really, anything can be anything. Like, everything, everywhere, all at once. It is what it is. Why are we the most hated sign? Why do we think we're the most hated sign?
Because social media, y'all are indoctrinated.
Oof. Y'all are indoctrinated.
Like, I don't know what else I must say to you guys. Like, why do you hate Gemini? Put it down in the comments below.
Ouch.
No, honestly, I think I've arrived to a point where I just genuinely think like the general hate Geminis get is pure indoctrination. Like, I don't think y'all actually
Have
know that many
experienced
horrible
Geminis.
Geminis, except for like the people you see on social media that this like media will continuously highlight as like the poster people for Geminis. Do you get me? But I ain't no Jeffrey Dahmer.
She's not a Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm not Jeffrey Dahmer.
I'm not building walls in America, am I?
No.
Exactly.
She's
But
not
like,
going around people's homes screaming, "Hey, Pete Davidson, fuck you." We're not doing.
you know,
We're not doing that.
yeah. So I think like people just need to start thinking for themselves.
Yeah, I think. But if you ever have, I think you know what? Like, I think with Gemini's, like, damn, I forgot what I was gonna. I forgot what I was gonna say.
People need to think for themselves.
Oh yeah, right. I think if you've ever been with a Gemini, like, and you don't like a Gemini, I think a lot of times it's because you don't like that you can't control them, or you can't like manipulate a Gemini, or you can't force them into thinking how you want them to think. So you hate how
liberated they are.
You know, because the opposite sign is Sagittarius. You know what I'm saying? And just like a Sag, Geminis are gonna explore however they want to. And if you try to restrict them or you're trying to be in their way, my nigga, you're gonna be met with some chaos, with some crazy shit. You feel me? Like, it's not gonna be nice for you.
Yeah.
So I think the best way to handle your Gemini friend, bestie, mom, dad is just to like allow them to obviously like have your boundaries. And if they don't respect your boundaries, then you can hate your Gemini and call them crazy, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can project that on them, you know.
But otherwise,
like, it's really just they want to be free. Like, they want to be just as free as your Sag friend wants to be, you know.
yeah.
And maybe they're more like verbally astute than your Sagittarius friend. So the Gemini would know how to like say specific things to like make you know that they're not gonna do what you think they're gonna do, as opposed to like your Sagittarius friend who's just gonna like disappear on you. You know what I'm saying? So just like,
That's so real.
just allow your Gemini friends to just do what they want to do. You
We
know?
like boomerangs.
Okay, and then the last question, right, is why do you guys like to stress people out? Why do we like to stress people out?
I'm many people's peace, please.
I feel that you're but like she's like a May Gemini, you know. Her Gemini sun sign is May.
I was
Even though
supposed
she's
to be a
like
Taurus.
basically, even though she has a Gemini, right? To me, like, you're a Gemini, but like your sun, like your actions is in like crazy Gemini. You know what I'm saying?
I'm Gemini in here.
Yeah, internally. I also think with us, like, I think if your Gemini friend is like quiet, just know a lot of things are happening.
I'm crazy internally. Like, how can I put it? Why do we drive people crazy? Because the thoughts are crazy, man. Like, I'll speak for myself. Like, the thoughts are crazy. And trust and believe, like, sometimes I really do feel like people think I'm insane. But I'm just like, maybe I'm just saying stuff that y'all are too afraid to say sometimes. Like, those dumb little questions.
I get you. Do you also have that thing where, like, when you say things, people
Yeah,
kind of
I
like
get
look at
bombastic
you like,
side eyes quite a lot.
Or they it's like they're not really understanding what you're saying, so they just kind of brush it off. They're
Yeah,
like,
like I'm just speaking in bubbles.
I hate that. Geminis, do you guys experience that too? Like, I really, really hate that. Because, like, what we're saying, it's making sense.
Yeah, they're just not catching it, or they think we just... Because we probably are saying it, like, all over the place type of thing.
We are all over, I'm not gonna lie.
Like, we say it in so many different segments, but in my mind, it makes sense. Like, the thread is so clear in my mind, and, like, when I'm saying this to someone else who's not following the thread, like I am,
they're
I'm
not
like,
gonna get it.
keep
They're not
up.
picking up. And that actually leads me to my next question. Like, why do we do that? Why do we speak in jumbles and riddles?
Because I think we're thinking of so many perspectives at once. Do you get me? It's hard to really like speak in a clear, concise line because we're not writing an essay when we speak. That's what you guys need to understand. We're literally expressing our thoughts as they're happening inside our head.
And a lot of the times, like, you'll have a thought and then another thought, like a counter thought will happen, and then you'll be like, wait a minute.
No, why? Now you're fighting with us. Guys, no, maybe that's why we drive people crazy, because like we look crazy when we process things. You be like, yeah, nah, no. Load shedding is bad, man. But
actually,
man.
no, man. Yeah, like we always like counter.
Our
Yeah, we always counter thinking our arguments, even other people's arguments. honestly, it just goes back to that. Like, there's so many ways of seeing the whole world, and like we are preview to that. Like, we know that's so hard. Like, the second sign would be Libra, you know, and that's why Libras are also indecisive, you know what I'm saying? But like,
I
shit,
have
like,
personal beef with Libras.
I love Libra. My mom's Libra, my brother's Libra. Like, I always love a Libra. But I think even on that, like, just we see things from every perspective, like, and we don't want to miss anything out, you know. Like, we'll hear you out. Don't get me wrong. Like, we'll hear where you're coming from, and we'll fully digest it. We'll literally walk in your shoes, but we'll be like, okay, but have you tried walking in their shoes? You know?
Or have you maybe thought like you're not emotionally regulated? Like, we won't put it like that, but like, I feel, okay, off topic but not really.
Yeah.
Right, it's one of those things. I feel like the whole discourse around like how to approach like mental health situations or like conflict with people has been so scripted by like these little posts we see people sharing on Instagram.
Yeah.
But like, we kind of like forget, like, with people at the end of the day, it's just speaking. Why do I have to use a script to sort of like address you sensitively? Sometimes what you need to do is not necessarily address people sensitively according to the textbook way. You need to speak to them honestly. This is why we have so many people living in their delusions. Sometimes you need to tell someone, Uguti Fede, I feel you, I'm sorry you feel like this, my friend, but you're wilding.
Yeah, bro. Where you're coming from is not it. I should tell my friends that they're crazy sometimes, but it's just like, I think also another time why you think your Gemini friend is like, I don't know, kind of unreliable, you know. It's just because they really don't care about anything that hasn't, in like, if something doesn't
Affect them
directly, like, they just, like, for me especially, like, if something isn't okay, MIYELANI will go through something, she'll tell me about her stories, I'll really empathize with it, you know, but I won't like a
Not
cancer,
involved, no.
I won't jump in it and be like, yo, we need to
fix
do
your
something
problem.
about it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'ma just hear her out and be like, okay, cool, I heard you out, cool, that's your shit now, you know. So, and I think maybe sometimes people can take that as like insensitivity, but it's not that. It's just like,
there's only so
we
much
already have so many things happening constantly all the time, like we really, and jumping into those emotions, like, because no lie, like, emotions are very new territory for Gemini. Okay, not new, but like, we relate,
like preteens.
We hold on to our logic so hard, and even though our logic can be delusional, no lie, but we hold on to that so hard. So jumping into other people's emotions is a whole new territory, because we don't know, we sometimes barely know what the fuck is happening. Like, it's just so much. So jump into your shit too. It's just like
like that's my chat. Like, the only way I can jump into other people's shit is if I do it from like an objective perspective, and
yeah,
that's
for
me
sure.
like having to sort of like low-key play your therapist, and like therapists are objective. They're not supposed to
Include
really
themselves,
include themselves that emotionally, because then like you breaking that contract, like there's no longer like that client whatever. Do you get me? Not to say, but you know, the people that like vent to me are my clients, but like, it's one of those things of, it's also like a boundary we set.
for sure.
I know for myself, it's just because taking people's emotions on is too
It's
hard.
a lot. It really
Sometimes,
is a lot.
you know, I don't mind it at all. Like, I'm a good listener when I have to be. But like, yeah, at some point you need to be like, and then you need to tell people, Uguti Fede, I hear you, sorry you feel like this is what I have to say, 1, 2, 3, okay, good night.
Thank you. I'm out. But it's never like on some malicious intent. Like, just speaking for us though, like, I don't know about other Geminis, you know. But it's like, we never operate from a thing of like directly trying to hurt people. I think sometimes like we can be unconscious of our actions a lot of times, because we're going at like 100 miles per hour in our heads, that we miss a lot of like big details, minor details in the people around us, you know, their lives too. And unfortunately, like, there's nothing I can do about that. Okay, well, there is, but like, I'm not always going to be aware of what's going on in people's lives, because I already have a whole bunch of things happening in my life as well, you know. So
I think that's a human thing too.
you know. So if I'm ever wishy-washy or whatever, or I'm indecisive, you think I'm like crazy or whatever, like, just know, like, I have my own shit that I'm going through. Like, Geminis have their own things, and because we're ruled by Mercury, like, we operate from a place of speed. Like,
like, I'm a slow person
God.
naturally, me,
but
right?
inside,
It's like
fast. It's so quick, and I think, yeah, just being patient with us too.
Yeah.
Because we're so forgiving. Like a lot of the times we don't even care.
I think that's the thing about
too much,
Geminis
like-
too. Well, it depends, you know, like it
Right.
obviously varies from person to person, right? But like that thing you said about like the whole forgiving element, right? Like water under the bridge to us when we decide it's water under the bridge.
It really is.
You get me?
It
And
is
we're
what
not-
it is.
We're not stingy with chances.
Exactly.
That's what I think about Gemini. So it's like one of
Exactly.
those things of like, you know, we just also would like the same patience we give to people as well type situation. And like, yeah, like we care. It's just we want you guys to also know how to figure shit out for yourself.
Exactly.
Because I think that's like one of Gemini's sole purpose, to just figure stuff out. You're trying to understand the world through your lens. Do you get me? So like I can't be out here imposing my thoughts,
beliefs
my
on you.
opinions on people. Like at some point we like to people, yo fere, sharp, cool. I'm not a fixer. You hear me? I'm just like a perspective giver.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Just put that on my wall.
You're a perspective giver. You definitely are.
Yeah.
An objective. I think Gemini is like they're Gemini energy is just very lighthearted and childlike. You know, like I think like the way that we genuinely show care is to also lend that to your lighthearted perspective of viewing the world, even your own problems. Because I think like a lot of the times also being with like my water sign friends, like as much as I know I don't relate to them, you know, I also feel like sometimes like your problems can be solved if you just give yourself another lighthearted way of viewing them and viewing yourself too. Because
Change perspective.
a lot of the times it's really not that deep. Like obviously you deal how you deal with it, right? But from a Gemini's perspective and how they want to try and help you is, dude, it's really not that crazy. Like you can just change your mind about it and like decide that it doesn't matter anymore.
You know, I've given this like quite some thought.
Yeah.
I think I've discovered like what my general life philosophy is. And it could change over time, but like this is the one that makes sense for me right now. I don't think Geminis are optimistic,
Ooh.
but we can come off as if we are. What we are, there's this like term I've been like diving into, samsara, right? And basically it means like life is suffering.
Crazy.
Right? So when I say it just like that, it may sound so cynical and it might seem like, oh, I'm falling into some depressive spell or whatnot, and I'm no. But I think Geminis have come to understand that like life in itself comes with so many fucking challenges that you cannot control.
Right.
The only thing you can control is your mind.
Valid.
That's the only thing that you can control. Environment, on the other hand, that's fucking circumstance. Ne? And unless like situations vary, of course, but like the only real power we do have is our perspective.
Your perspective.
And I think that's why we hold on so much to it. Do you get me? Because in a world where things become heavy, where they become hard, what keeps us grounded, because we're not earth signs, we can't just touch grass. Well, you are.
Yeah,
You get me?
right.
I've got taught in me, but like there's some people where like touching grass is enough, right? And like touching nature is a very important grounding point. But for me, another important grounding point is really understanding that my mind makes up most of who I am.
Honestly, and also piggybacking off of what you were saying, like I think a lot of the times like Geminis know how to choose their issues, like what they want to give a fuck about. Like I don't think if somebody had to hate us, for example, like you have Geminis has like 5 people like after them, a Gemini will choose that they won't give a fuck. Like they'll choose to not entertain that, and they'll choose to be like, okay, this is a problem, but I'm not gonna like be in that, you know. And I think like that's something I really appreciate about being a Gemini moon, is like knowing that I don't, if I don't want to be aware of something, I can just not be aware of it. I can literally just choose to not care about it, and not care about it for real, you know. So I also think in that sense, like, don't think your Gemini friend is trying to get you to ignore how you feel. We're just trying to get you to realize like you don't have to care as well if you choose not to care. You know what I'm saying? Like
Especially when it's not serving you.
Especially when it's not serving
If caring
you.
brings you much more pain, it's a sign to let it go.
Just decide to not give a fuck.
But I feel like that's something I'm learning from you. I still give many fucks. Oh, I still give way too many fucks, but it's something that I'm learning in time to be like, I can give my fucks, but put on your best actor's face, baby.
That's their Aquarius
Because it's
moon.
all at a performance at the end of the day. Like, it's really all of a performance at the end of the day. Like, none of us, I feel like a lot of people don't actually feel like what they present to the world a lot of the time, right? They actualize it by being it. You don't just pop onto the earth as that person you want to be. You need to act like it, right? So if you're not trying to give no fucks, stop giving fucks. And the only way you can do that is if you stop playing with this too much and also employ some of this. But don't go too much into this because it's our best.
And with that being said, this is the end of the interview. Ow, guys, I need to stop smoking glass, dude. Like, this shit is hurting my fucking lung, my nigga. Guys, I hope you learned about Geminis. I think, like, the overall message, if you take anything, is just know that your Gemini friends, like,
They love you.
they do fuck with you. They just have their own
Shit.
and their own detached, chaotic way of like expressing everything that's happening in their chaotic internal world.
True.
I mean, not every Gemini is a good person. Not every Gemini is a bad person. You know, we just be changing, and I think we just change quicker than the average person. Everybody changes, but we just do a lot quicker.
I think we're more accepting.
More accepting, but we do things a lot more quicker. Like, our processing things is so quick.
Really?
I think so. Like, just think of, okay, maybe this is also your Taurus Venus might also be like,
my Taurus Venus kind of like times
like,
everything.
yeah,
I'm
for
so
real.
sorry in this situation.
and Jupiter. So she has a Taurus Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn, you know. So, like, just mind you that, you know.
But see, slow and steady does kind of win the race for me sometimes.
But what I mean, like, by quicker, I mean coming to realizations quicker. Like, for example, like, if you analyze a person, you already know, like, okay, I'm not gonna like this person, you know.
Oh yeah.
And then that's when you quickly switch up. So people just see it as a switch up. But you already came to that realization way quicker than
I'm
they
not trying to
may
sit in
have.
this delusion.
Yeah, that like you, like a Gemini will figure out 2 + 2 is 4 way quicker than like any other sign. But every other sign will think like, yo, like you switched up. But a Gemini has already concluded that, okay, this is 4, like, so I'm already done with this. Next. And that's just how it is.
I mean, like,
And that's just how
Kanye's
it
really
is.
married now,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm bringing all these celebrities as examples. Yo, please, YouTube. This time can say that they defamation of character.
They'll sue you, bro. You know what I'm saying? They might sue you, but no, they don't give a fuck about us, bro.
They
We're just
really don't. No,
we some kids from Africa.
I was
They
about to
don't
suck
give a
up, but
fuck.
actually, no.
Yeah, no. Yo,
I'll
but
see
what
you one day.
Yeah, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me in today's video. I had so much fun making this, bro.
Same here.
I really had so. Remember to stream her music, Era 555. Follow her on her IG, Princess of Gomorrah.
And YouTube.
And oh yeah,
Go
and
watch
on
my show.
YouTube. Do you have TikTok? Is that?
Yes, I do, but I don't have anything posted. But give me a reason to post.
Okay, wait. Maybe if they follow you, then you post, and you can like they'll follow your
Everything.
TikTok from Instagram.
Nah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I'll see you in my next. I'll see you in my, this. Yo, this video was as the most Gemini video ever. This was so chaotic. But anyway,
It made sense though.
it's also a new moon in Gemini. Like, come on. Anyway, bye guys.
Bye.
Mwah.